You're going to perform and be 100% every time when you show up. 0 mistakes or you're gone.
Cole Fackler is the co-founder of GBRS Group, has a unique personal story from enlisting in the United States military at a young age and becoming an elite U.S. Navy SEAL assigned to SEAL Team 10 and Naval Special Warfare Development Group. He served for 17 years and was medically retired in 2020 due to injuries sustained from his intense combat deployment schedule. I want to get into your background and history, but let's start off talking a little bit about GBRS.
So current day GBRS, there's a few different verticals. Kind of the founding one was always training and passing on kind of our knowledge that we learned while we were in the next generation, so they didn't have to learn the same lessons in blood that we did.
So a lot of guys get out and keep, they never stop, chasing a dragon. They go to Ground Branch or somewhere like that, and or contracting, and they just can't stop. Those of you who go back and start teaching, I don't think people realize how much of an impact it makes in our just communities. There's not a direct pathway for that knowledge to make it, or at least a direct channel from the military to be able to train with law enforcement officers. But when guys like you come out, you're able to transfer that knowledge over, and it makes our community safer. There's a lot of young folks that listen to this podcast, and I get the questions all the time about how can they prepare to become a Navy SEAL or a Recon Marine or a Green Beret or all these different types of special operations jobs. Like, what can I do to prepare?
If people can have a good baseline of resilience and challenging your fears, not being afraid of failure, but you can come back stronger, I would definitely say that's probably some of the top stuff.
Do you remember your first gunfight, first kinetic combat?
Yeah, I remember the first time shooting my gun live, and it was somebody under 18 maneuvering on us with an AK double tape mag and a chest rig, and luckily before he could get a shot off, I did, and that was my third deployment. I didn't fire a gun until then.
How'd that impact you? Did it change you in any way?
No. I mean, you're in an environment that it's like, if you're captured, they're going to cut your head off on camera. Much rather be judged by 6 than carried by 6. It's not the shots you take or shots you don't take, but I think because of our training and our decision-making and confidence, leadership instilled in us, we were very competent, very quick in the most stressful situations to make that decision whether to shoot or not, and accurately.
So what was the contrast like? You've been to combat with Team 10, and now you're in combat with Development Group. Like, what's the contrast there? The missions are different, the capabilities are different,
I'd say some of the biggest differences between the two are the assets the dedicated assets that you get, the sensitivity of what you're doing at a high level. You went from getting the neighborhood gangster to the international gangster.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like going from high school football to the NFL. It's just at such a different level of performance, strategy, and experience. I mean, it's just people that have been doing it for 10 plus years. You don't even get that feeling anymore of nervousness, concern. It is perfection at that level. 99% of the time it is perfection. It's like watching a ballet. When I graduated selection, 2 months later, I went on deployment. There's guys where they've literally finished selection, maybe just checked in a week, and we got to go do something. And those guys are part of it and executed it flawlessly. It's like, this is a direct example of not only the selection, but the training behind it. It's like, they might have gotten a week of training, with the squadron, and rolled right into a super sensitive thing we had to do and execute it flawlessly.
Can you tell us about your comfort level of telling us about one of those operations? What would it have been like to be on a capture kill or kill capture in this time frame mission, and with as one of the premier operators in the world? What would combat be like? And if you have a story or example, an operation that you can share with us.